So let's go into Squirrel and have a look at custom components then. So I'm in my Squirrel application and start a brand new project. The concept of custom components is the ability to take multiple different components that you've got on your canvas and then turn them into a reusable component or widget that you can then use across multiple different projects. I'll give you an example. Let's say I've got a slider and I configured it with like a title above it, and then I want to have a big number at the end of it to say what the value is. Let's say the value is 44. Let's wire that up just so we can see what it looks like. Connect this up to 44 as well. Change that styling to be main title. Make it bigger maybe. There we go. So that's then going to be the title of the slider. Let's set that as caps title. There we go. So that's now the title. And I want to use this, for example, across multiple my projects. Previously, what I have to do is I have to select that and then duplicate it, as we've got now, which is the duplicate command, and reuse that in multiple places. But what if I wanted to change the text label so that I'd have to then go, like say, change it from the caps title to subtitle, so it's not using the init cap and those sorts of things. I'd have to go through and apply that to every single location where that is found. With custom components, what I can do is I can select all these controls here, and then I've got a couple of different ways of creating the custom component. I can click on the new purple create component icon now in the top right corner of the property panel. I can right click over here and say create custom component, or I can right click on the canvas and create custom components. If I do that, it'll pop up and say, what is the name? So let's give it a name. So slider. Continue. And then I'll save the custom component and take me into the edit mode. You can tell you're in the edit mode because you've got the purple bar across the top. I can also change the name of it there from slider to something else if I wanted to as well. But in here now, I've got just the components that I created my custom component with. To connect up the properties to the custom component, we create what's called a link property. This is basically creating a link between the custom component and the spreadsheet when we configure that later on. So what I want to do is I want to pass in a title. So let's create a property for title. I want to pass in the value. So let's pass in the value. And let's specify the min and max of the slider. So min and max. Perfect. So I've got these link properties configured, and I need to connect those up to the actual component. So if I select the title here, and I want to bind it. It's a different icon now. You can see it's got the little purple outline. And then rather than selecting a spreadsheet range, I can now select which one of my properties do I want to connect it to. I want to connect that one to my title. Let's select my slider, connect the value up to the value. Same with my big number at the end. Let's connect that up to the value. And then for the min and max, let's configure those to min and max. That's it. Press update. It's now going to update and save my custom component and take me back into my project here. And as you can see on the left hand side now, rather than having my multiple components, I've got one now called slider, which is the custom component I've created. If I select it, you can tell it's a custom component because the highlight is purple, the outline is purple, whereas a normal slider, the highlight is blue and the outline is blue. So you can tell custom components by that purple outline as well. And the property panel is exposing the linked properties that we created in the previous step. So let's give it a title, value, min, max. Let's have a look. So title of sales, value 123, min of 0, max of 1,000, say. So let's connect that up. So I go to title, sales, and it's updated the property there. As you can see, value, it's now moved my slider to 123 and set 123 in my label there, min 0, max of 1,000, and that's now gone through and configured that for me. Let me just save this now. So save custom component test. Perfect. I can also now go into a brand new project. Left hand side now got a new section here on our left menu for custom components, and it's a list of all the components that we've created. So if I select my slider, place it on, I can now use that, and now can use this now across multiple different projects. I can also have multiple instances in the same project, but the power comes when there are multiple instances across multiple different projects, and you can start creating these reusable assets you can use. Also, in the start page here, if we go into the settings, so the asset library, we've now got a component section. If we go into here, we can see this is the custom component I just created called slider. If I click on the radial button, I can now go into edit, and this will take me into the edit version of this as well. Let's add a new, well, let's not check, let's just change the color here. Let's change the big number on the right hand side from being gray. Let's make it that red color. There we go. So nice and red color. Update that. You can see my image is updated. So what would happen now if I open up that project I just saved, my custom component test? My custom component test was made without the red values. Let's open it and have a look. As you can see here, the number is still black, but it has identified that there's been an update to my custom component. So I can choose to not update it, remind me later, and I can come into here, but it does tell you that these components need updating. There's a little dot next to it. So there's a number of different affordances and and indicators to let you know there are some changes. So if I come out, let's go back into it again. It pops up. If I press update component now, it will go and get the latest version of that that custom component and update my project with that, and it's immediately come through and inherited that red capability as well. So the power of these custom components really comes to the fore when you create multiple different components and then bind them all together. So let's look at this demo here that Mel's created, a more realistic real life example. So this is a pricing page for, say, a website or for a SaaS product, and these are created as reusable components here. Let's go into card plan and have a look. So I can right click, edit custom component, and it's taken me in. You can see here I've got all my components configured, and my properties are like price, color, price plan, price summary, and all the bullet points. They're all configured in there for us, and we can now reuse that. So I go back to here, and we see we've used it here in 3 separate locations, which is great. We've only got 3 components over here on our object browser, our component tree, sorry. So it makes our component tree a bit less cluttered as well. But so if you also go and look into the actual custom component, this is made up of 24 individual components. So if I had done it the previous way, which by creating it and then copying and pasting it, there would have been 24, 48, 72 components on my canvas, and 72 components in my component tree. It gets a little bit more cluttered, a bit more difficult to manage. Now we've just got those 3 in there as well, and as you can see, they're very similar in their aesthetics, but they're also got their own differences, different values, different contents, different colors, and that is all the power of passing in these link properties and these link bindings as well. So this feature of custom components is coming in 1.21. We want people to use it. It's available in all the product SKUs, so it's available for creator and builder and Infobird Squirrel customers. We want people to use it, and then we'll look to evolve and enhance this over time based on customer feedback. So we'll provide some more information on how you can do everything and all the different various options in the Learn article, but we encourage everyone to have a play, raise questions or ask for enhancement requests in the community, because we're actively looking to add more capability and evolve this custom component capability going forward.